Going live on Facebook. Welcome to the cafe, everybody. I'm Dax Carlisle. Grab your coffee or tea and pull up a chair and let's hang out and chat about stuff. Um.
Okay, hang on. I gotta turn my
Oh,
audio off on the you. I'm into YouTube just so I can keep up.
you got the chat open, right?
Turn my
Little Ted can always cut that out. We'll just leave it in.
yes, very much.
Wow, I already see Michelle and Dan in the chat, and Pam, of course, is in there, and me. We'll give some time for some folks to get in here. Um, Something weird's going on. YouTube is not receiving enough uh, video to maintain the stream. Something weird's going on with our technical end of things here, Pam. Angela just came in the chat. Hey, folks in the chat, Michelle, Dan, Angela, let us know if you're still hearing us and seeing us because we're getting a weird warning on the analytics here in the studio. Bizarro things going on, folks. Bizarro things. Another group was having technical issues as well. Must be a YouTube thing.
Yeah.
Everything looks and sounds good. Angela says, I'm hearing and seeing you both, says Michelle. So, well, we're just going to ignore that then. Hey, real quick before anything else, couple of things I want to re congratulate Pam on getting her Tarot Master certificate. Yay! Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. And by the way, I checked this morning, Pam. And if they go to my link here, psychic.cafe/steel wizard, the deck, the whole set, it's 45% off.
Wow. I did not
So
even know that.
for the holidays, grab these for $19.33. Of course,
Do it, kids. It'll never be that low again.
it'll never be that low. Plus, of course, Pam makes less and less the more they keep dropping the price on this thing. But it's like, hey, $19. Oh my God. You want to get this deck with the 88 cards. And is that how many cards there is? 88?
Yes, yes, my dear.
Look at
There are 88 cards in this deck. There are
yes.
four extra court cards, maidens for there's a maiden for each suit to represent the potential for that suit, and then there's six more major arcana that start after the world card. So if you're really uncomfortable with the extra 10 cards, take them out. You won't be
Just
playing
take
with
them
the
out.
full deck. You won't be playing with the full deck, but that's okay.
I love that. You won't be playing with a full deck. Oh.
Trust me.
Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm going to put this link in the chat for everybody. Hi, Rose. Rose W just came in.
Hey,
Uh,
Rose.
psychic.cafe/steel wizard. Steel has an E on the end. Steel wizard. Psychic.cafe/steel wizard. That'll take you right over where you can grab it for $19. Get it, folks. Oh my God, 45%. So, every time Pam's on, I always go over and check the price because it's different every single time. Sometimes it's, 10% off, 35% off, 20% off. Today, 45% off. I don't know how long that's going to last, but
Is that on Amazon?
Mhm.
Okay, okay. You because Schiffer, Red Feather, the publishers, they have the Amazon, they have their own Amazon store. So
Right.
I'm
And
sure
I don't know
you're
what
getting
it
it
is
through.
in there. I assume it's the same. Uh,
Yeah.
it
No,
depends.
that's usually they run their sales through Amazon.
Right, right, right. But
But
what I
we
mean is that sometimes like some it depends on who what the store is, whether it's the
Yeah.
actual Llewellyn store Is it Llewellyn or
Nope.
Schiffer
Schiffer.
or no? Oh yeah,
Schiffer.
red feather, right?
Red feather.
Red
Yeah.
feather, red feather, Schiffer. But the link that I have, the one that I just put in the chat, the one I was showing up here, psychic.cafe/steel wizard, will take you to the one that definitely has the 45% off sale. And yes, we do get a smidgen, a dollar or two maybe if you buy it through our link. So we have to disclose that that we are an affiliate of Amazon, but it's just a little teensy bit, over I don't know, since we've been online. So 2009,
Yeah.
14, 15 years. Uh I could probably, count on two hands, the entire amount that I've ever gotten from Amazon. All
Yeah.
these years of promoting decks and books, and you would think, oh my God, lots and lots of revenue. No, no. I mean, maybe a couple of $20 bills. That's about it in 15 years.
No, you do
Mm-hmm.
not. Well, there are a few. I mean, you look at Giro Marchetti, but he's got so many fingers and so many pies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he's got the right, well, not to mention he's brilliant. I mean, this is all good. Same with Eric Dunn. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
those are two artists that I know that literally live off of what they make on their art royalties.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's for me, it's a great passive income. It's secondary. It's something I plan to do for the rest of my life. Um, which probably
Mm-hmm.
won't be that long because I'm old, but still, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying.
stop.
I did. I'm never going to get any younger than I am right now. Let's
Well,
face
this
it.
is the way to think of it now, especially now that you're a tarot grandmaster. See, I wore my Jedi shirt today, folks. Trust me, I'm a Jedi.
That's
I was telling Pam in the green room that we are the Jedi of tarot, right? But it also means as we're getting older, we're looking more and more like Yoda. I'm
Shh.
just saying.
I got to get the ears better. They're just, I don't quite have the right
Oh
ear.
my God. Oh my gosh. Anyway, what's Dan saying here? Pamela, the USPS is, as of yesterday, not taking any mail going to Canada at this time. Their system won't even bring it up. Grr. So, my apologies. Your package will probably have to wait till after the first. So, little heads up from Dan.
Okay, our postal service just got ordered back to work on Tuesday.
Hmm.
It has been shut down since the first part of November.
Oh, I didn't know you guys were having that, but we just went through our own crises where they were going to shut down the government, including the mail and everything else.
Oh, they don't ever really do that. I mean, here, and it was supposed to be a rolling strike where, you might not get mail service for a week. Oh no, they shut the whole show down and thought that they were going to get like a 30%
Oh, Canada.
really. Exactly that too. But no, what they're trying to do now is get the backlog that they were still, like they just, well, nobody's getting their bills. Because my husband refuses. He has to have that piece of paper in his hand for a bill.
Oh God, you guys
Uh,
are so old. You got to do everything online. You don't even have to
yeah,
worry
I
about the
know, and
paper.
that's just it. So I mean, all of my stuff's
Yeah.
online. Everything is.
I'm
And
like
so I had
99%,
Well,
and
I had to set up an account for him in a couple of places just to get in to see how much he owes on like his insurance and how much does he owe for this and what about this bill or that bill. I managed to find them all and I managed to get them all paid in time and all that crap. And now all of a sudden that the postal strike is over, as it were. We're getting stacks of mail every day that
mhm.
they've been holding on to. Stacks of it. And
Wow.
I've got a carton of the Wizard's pets that were supposed to be delivered the first part of November.
Mhm.
They mailed them out at the first part of like the first or second day of November. Okay. They're still sitting at a sorting house in the US. I hope they will get here eventually. Meanwhile, but that's only because I went through one of my big distributors. I went through one of my small distributors and had a carton in 3 days, but oh well. Anyway,
Yeah.
I did manage to get some, and yeah, they are still available. And yes, you can still get them anywhere in the world through Amazon. So did you don't have this deck, do you, Dax?
No,
This one? It's a
no,
Rider-Waite clone.
I don't have that one yet.
It's a right.
Eventually.
It is. It's just like the Rider-Waite deck. In fact, what I did was I bought a new copy because I didn't want to play with my old one because it's like 45 years old.
Mhm.
Um, I got a new Rider-Waite tarot and I went card by card with that card sitting in front of me, and I learned so much about the original Rider-Waite, redoing it into this cartoon form. Because I mean, I kept like on the nine of, this is one of my favorite things, the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. You look down at the bottom by her feet, there's this little dot thing. And no matter how careful I looked, I couldn't tell what it was. I magnified nothing. Well, finally, I look it up. It's a snail, which makes perfect sense as far as symbolism and all.
Right, right.
So, well, that is so cool, but I would never have known that was a snail. So that I made sure to make it big enough in this deck for the coloring book so you can see
Mhm.
what you're coloring down there, because it's really important that people understand the symbolism in this
Mm.
class amazing deck. Not mine. I'm talking about the Rider-Waite. It's mine's amazing, I think, too, but then I'm prejudiced. So what do I know?
Right, right.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
Dan,
trying to
don't worry
find it
about
right
it.
now to look at it. I'm like, where's the snail? I think I remember there being a snail, but that's the Knight of Pentacles, right?
No, the nine.
Oh, nine. Oh,
Nine of
nine.
Pentacles.
Nine of Pentacles. See, the reason why I went to Knight of Pentacles is it's the slowest moving of the
Yes.
four knights. So it would make sense for a snail to be on. Okay, whoever's making a deck, put a snail on your Knight of Pentacles.
Okay, there it is.
Let me get the Nine
Down
of
here,
Pentacles up.
down here at the bottom by her feet, right
Oh,
here.
yeah, I've seen that before.
Okay, and did you know what it was?
Yeah, yeah, I
I
knew
didn't.
that.
I had no idea it was a snail.
It is,
I
but see the version I have, there's like this the shell on the
yeah.
back is kind of like bluish and then
Ooh,
brown. And
cool,
yeah,
cool.
and I could share my screen and show what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to bother right now. Anyway, hey, for everybody listening live, if you're in the chat with us, you can ask questions in the chat. And if you're not live yet, but somehow you're watching, like you're watching us live, but you're not in the chat somehow, that does happen. Because like I promote out, and if you like on Twitter or X Twitter, when you're on there, you can actually click and watch the live stream like right on X Twitter. I love that. But the chat, you have to be actually on our YouTube page. So what you do is you go to, actually, let me put up the see if it's going to let me do this here. I got to change it here real quick and pop that up here. Psychic.cafe/live. If you go to psychic.cafe/live, whenever we're starting a show, it'll take you right into the page for that show that day. And then you can get in the chat with us. And you can ask questions about tarot and numerology. You can ask questions about oracle decks, publishing, because we have Pamela here. You can ask her, great resource to ask if you've ever wanted to do your own deck. And of course, your personal questions as well. We'll pull some cards for you. If you want something general, just say, can I have a message from the universe or your angels, guides? If you have a specific question, type it in the chat and we'll pull cards on it and see what comes up. Charlotte just popped in. What actually made it here on time, sort of? Yeah, you missed some fun stuff, but you're here. Maria's in our another one of our regulars that was here Thursday. Yeah, that was a fun night on Thursday. Hey, before we go any further, I did pull cards. Cards of the day, Ace of Wands, new opportunities, especially, career and business. And the star card, of course, the hope card, right? So there's an element with the hope card about optimism. Optimism and gratitude is how you activate the law of attraction. And the Ace of Wands, if you're going for something new, these two cards together Notice she's pouring the water. I always call it the water of life. She's pouring it into the pool, the pond, the body of water, and then on the dry land. So the dry land is representing the material realm, right? And and consciousness, and then the pool of water, the body of water, is representing the subconscious and the spiritual realm. And so it's working in both. I think that's kind of a hint from the star card as far as moving forward with a lot of you out there that this is connecting with. You have a project you're starting or a new career or something like that with the Ace of Wands. And how do you go forward with that? Well, first of all, you got to maintain the optimism, right? And use all five senses, right, to create in your consciousness, and it'll go into your subconscious higher self after that. um a representation of what this is going to look like. What's it going to smell like, feel like, taste like, sound like, the whole thing. In the Waite Smith version of the star card, when she's pouring the water onto the ground, it spreads out in five rivulets representing the five senses. Okay, so making a five sensory visualization. So when I say visualization, not just what you see, but all five senses, get them all involved. What's it going to sound like, smell like, feel like, look like, the whole thing, taste like, even when you have manifested this new thing with the Ace of Wands. So that's the message coming through today that I got for everybody out there.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I use both decks of the Eternal Seeker and the
Mm-hmm.
Steel Wizard. Ta-da! And because it's the solstice, I don't know. It's just maybe my decks are just
Yeah,
mentioned.
happy solstice, everybody, the 21st.
Yes, it is the shortest. It is the longest night of the year. This is my favorite, very favorite in all of them
I
days.
love
This
it because the lights, you can see the lights, because I put the Christmas lights out and everything. You can see the lights earlier and it lasts longer on
exactly because
tonight.
it's darker.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Anyway, from the Eternal Seeker, we got the I Am card, which is the card that tells me that um
I
well,
am.
when you begin functioning as a total being, you stop thinking in terms of I have a soul. You think in terms of I'm a divine being having a human experience. And that's what the I Am card is all about. It's about removing the barriers between the different aspects of being that we've placed there in order to fully experience each aspect of the divine with itself and blending them back into a single working force. All right.
Mhm.
That's what Dax and I were talking about earlier is magic. Okay. We're gonna go back into that, right? Today we're
Right.
gonna talk
We are going to talk magic today. I didn't get to even announce that
exactly,
yet, but
exactly.
we came up with that topic on the fly. It's all Pamela.
It's all the dragon's eye. It's all in the dragon. And the other card I got to go with it. This is another because it's a new beginning today. And so we get the Ace of Cups. And so the beauty of okay, I have
I
had
got
this.
the Ace of Wands. It's perfect.
Yeah. So I mean, so it's definitely new beginning, new beginning. And this one is follow your heart and fill your cup or fill your boots, whichever way you want to go with it. But the whole thing comes down to when you when your feelings are completely authentic, this is the card you're going to get. So if you're asking something, my son, does everyone here know who Jordan Peterson is? He's
Yeah.
probably the greatest mind of our time as far as is psychology. I mean,
Hmm.
Jung, all of them. He's way up there with them, if not past them. He's this brilliant. And my son got a VIP ticket to go see him while he was in Texas a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
And
wow. And he's
yeah, and
Canadian.
I know we all are, but that's beside the point. Yeah, he ends up going to see him in Texas as a Canadian to see a Canadian in, of course. But anyway, um, he gets there, and so I asked him. We just spent the last couple of days at their house, and I asked him. I said, "So how was it?" He says, "Mom," he says, "It's like sitting in the presence of some masterful guru that, and he says, but the only thing was, he says he couldn't roll his eyes when, like you open the up to three questions from the audience. And he says the questions he were getting were things like, my boyfriend's being a complete jerk, and I want to know how to get him back back in line. And you're thinking, you're talking to one of the most brilliant psychologists mankind has ever dealt with. And you want to know what your idiot boyfriend's doing? Like, so Orion rolled his eyes for them, as it turned out. But there again, it's about authenticity. Like, is it true love or is it an addiction? Like, ask yourself that. Oh, but he was my soulmate. She was my soulmate. That person was my soulmate. Really? Or are you just addicted to them? And this is where the Ace of Cups comes in so handy, because the Ace of Cups is the first one to tell you whether or not it's authentic. Okay. So anyway, that's what I got for everybody today. And no, we're gonna just let nature take its course, I guess.
Right, right. We got some questions coming in already. And I wanted to mention, of course, our coffee page. So if you want to grab us a cup of coffee, go over to psychic.cafe/coffee, and you can send us a cup of coffee, just to send us some love, or maybe you're enjoying the shows. Maybe you just love hanging out with us, or you get great readings from us. Also, you can jump to the top of the list. So when sometimes in chat, a lot of people come in and it's kind of slow right now. We have a question from Angie. I don't know if there's any more yet, but sometimes there's like 15, 20 questions already in the chat, and we go through them in the order that they came in. But if you go to psychic.cafe/coffee, buy us a cup of coffee, and in the chat go, hey, I just bought you a cup of coffee, I've got a question. We take your question first. We stop everything we're doing. We spend more time with you. We let you ask follow-up questions and so forth. Also, if you are a member of the Tarot Guild and Psychic Cafe, maybe you're a lifetime member, maybe you are an annual member, guess what? You get to jump to the top of the list too. I don't often say that on the shows, but you guys should know. So I thought I'd throw that out there. The other thing I wanted to mention, especially because I just mentioned about becoming a member there, Pamela, we have the half price holiday sale going. So the membership is half price. So is your certification. Pamela just got her certified tarot grand master. There's 4 levels: practitioner and professional, master, and grandmaster. And they're each normally $138. They're only $69 right now. My course is on sale, and my readings too, by the way. So Tarot Guild membership, normally $78 a year. That's the number of cards in the tarot deck. That's right. And well, not Pamela's, of course, 88, but 78 cards, that is what, a few dollars a month. I mean, it's like the cost of a latte at Starbucks, actually cheaper than Starbucks, probably. Uh, but right now you can sign up for the year for $39, and then you can get certified for $69. So if you're already a member, go over to the private members group on Psychic Cafe, www.psychic.cafe/guild members. Go to your private group there, and you're going to find a post with the link to get it for $69. If you're not a member yet, join first. Okay. And then if you need a course, my tarot by the numbers course is normally $299. That's half off as well, $149.50, and it includes those 2 things above there. So you get your membership for a year and your professional certification included when you enroll in my course for half price, $149.50. My readings normally $99.99 for a session. It's $49.99 right now. Go over to psychic.cafe/holidays and grab your membership. That's right. Okay, so what's going on? And Charlotte was mentioning because I had mentioned Maria came in and she was here Thursday, and Charlotte said, yes, I was actually there flipping cards, being rowdy. Yes, it was Rowdy Readers on Thursday. We're going to have to make that the Rowdy Readers show. Where we're a little bit rowdy. Let's see what questions came in. So Rose asked, what is your favorite deck of all time? So uh, I have to say Steel Wizard.
You don't have to.
I know. But see, the thing is, I was born in June, so I'm a Gemini. There is no such thing for Geminis as a favorite thing. You ask us our favorite color. Technically, it's orange, but orange, purple, orange, purple, blue. We have multiple things. Same thing with tarot decks. I can't give you a favorite tarot deck. I mean, if I have to force it, I have to say, well, of course, the universal weight. And I prefer the radiant version from US Games with the bright colors and everything like that. But one of my favorite decks of all times is the Llewellyn deck by Llewellyn. And it is just gorgeous watercolor painted images. Now they're Waite-Smith images, except for the major arcana cards, which are based on Welsh mythology. I'm part Welsh, so from Wales in England. So, it's really cool, but you still get the same feeling from these cards from the major arcana, even though they're not identically looking like the majors. However, the minors are really close. The minors are, like Two of Cups, slightly reimagined, but extremely pretty. I mean, this has got to be my favorite deck of all times. Now, I fell in love with Ciro Marchetti's decks in like 08, 09, and his Grand Lux deck is my favorite. Oh, you got the Llewellyn deck there. Yeah. Pamela's got
Absolutely.
hers.
I'm an art fanatic and I'm an art snob. And when I
Yeah.
spotted the art in this deck, I had to have it. I don't buy decks very often.
Yes.
I bought this one.
So, gorgeous digital imagery from the master, Ciro Marchetti. So the Grand Lux deck, the Llewellyn deck, the Steel Wizard, and either the Radiant or my favorite new one is I needed a new deck that was an actual Waite-Smith. But I didn't want just an ordinary, just go to US Games and get, the Waite-Smith. So I went online, started looking around, and I found the foil deck. And it's printed on PVC material. It's not paper. So it's waterproof. It's not the same for it. So I don't, but that and the Lux by any of the foil deck, the Llewellyn deck. Oh my God. And it's wider and a little bit shorter. So it actually shuffling. Oh my God. It's so much easier to shuffle than most tarot decks, even though it's wider. And of course, Steel Wizard. Da, 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 da. So there you go. That's mine, Rose. Do you have an actual favorite, Pamela?
Besides my own, I
Besides
did.
your own?
No, I did the Steel Wizard for me because
And
I
are you still in love with your own? That's the question.
absolutely. This is my go-to deck, of course. As far, well, like you just said, the Llewellyn. I have all three of Benabelle's decks just because the Spirit Keeper, like from the day she did it, I kept telling her, "You're an artist, just let it go," and she did. And so, I've got all three of hers, and I've got one up here called the Runic Tarot by Los Scarabeo.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got all the dragon decks ever made, and those are some of my
Oh,
very
me
favorite.
too. I've got my
I'm not
first deck
really
I ever
crazy.
got was a dragon deck.
Yeah, well, some of the artwork's a little sketchy to me, but that's okay. I can quit being a snob for long enough to say, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. Um, but the guys that did this, Jack and Alan, they sent me this after it was published. It's published by Los Scarabeo, and let's see, And Jamie Alford ended up writing the book for this. Alan tried to, bless his heart. They're Chinese nationals, and they fell in love with runic Nordic traditions, and
Mhm.
basically they did an amazing tarot deck. I don't have it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Um, I helped him as much as I could. I really wish they hadn't signed a
Mhm.
close for a bail before talking to me, but they didn't. But that's okay. They did okay anyway. Jack is a phenomenal artist. Alan's concepts are what really get everybody going so excited. But what we did was, I gotta find this card because it was not expected. Um, they cups and I need wands. What I did was I helped them with their editing and their concepts and all this stuff. So when it came right down to it, no, that's not it either. Come on, where is it? All right, not
You'll
stuff.
find it.
I will find it. That's there. No, okay, we're getting close here. We're getting really close.
By the way, in the chat, I'm putting all the links to all these decks.
Ah, there she is. When they were getting this deck wrapped up, Alan asked me, he says, "Can you send us a picture of you?" And I said, "I don't have too many of those. Look on my Facebook page." So I became their Queen of Wands.
Mm. Yep. There she is.
That's me. I
I
was a
like the
lot younger in
font.
this picture, huh?
I like the font on it too. The
Oh my gosh, that is it's a actually I've got that. It's a free download. It's called Nordic.
mm, mm.
Uh, It's
Pamela
phenomenal. I
is
use
the
it a
queen.
lot.
Pamela
Oh,
is the queen. Yes. So I've already put all of the links into the chat, and uh let me see if I can put some of these up here so you guys can see it if you're not seeing the chat. Okay, so psychic.cafe/LUXE will get you to the Grand Lux deck from Ciro Marchetti. Psychic.cafe/Lux. And then gold foil will get you to the gold foil deck. Psychic.cafe/gold foil. Llewellyn, LLEWELLYN. If you just type in your browser psychic.cafe/LLEWELLYN, Llewellyn, it'll take you right over to the Llewellyn website to the page for their deck, the Llewellyn deck. Of course, Llewellyn publishes zillions of decks, but they actually have their own deck, the Llewellyn deck, which is
beautiful.
in my top five, as we just said. And then I'm going to put in here again Steel Wizard. There we go to grab the Steel Wizard. There you go. Okay. My favorite deck is the Rumi deck by Alana Fairchild,
Oh,
Charlotte.
that's a lovely deck. It is lovely.
Lovely deck. Yes, yes. Okay, so I'm going to go back up to the questions.
Okay.
Let's see. Angie wanted to know, would love to know if Sam thinks of a future with me after 3 months of dating. Thanks. It's one of those questions, Pam.
Has she asked him yet?
Well, have you asked him?
I would.
Have you talked to him? Do we have a future? Where do you see us in 5 years?
Are your intentions honorable?
Yes. What are your intentions? Pull a card, see what comes up.
I'm gonna.
Yep.
I'm gonna. Come on, give me a sticky. Oh, there we go. That's a sticky.
I'm very curious to see what you get.
Five of Wands reversed. You
Oh,
need, God damn it. I did not say that with my outset. There we go. Five of Wands reversed. It's not a competition, honey. You You need to take it for what it's worth and go one day at a time and keep your eye on where you want to be in 5 months, 5 years, whatever. That's up to you. There's going to be things about him that are just really right now. You're thinking, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. You can't change it. This is who he is. And you're going to find a lot of things that really kind of annoy the crap out of you about him, or the very reasons that you're attracted to him. Um, for instance, maybe he's got a stubborn streak, but maybe that's exactly what he needs to do in order, or to be in order to attain his goals. So if you really want to know, figure out what it is you hope to, where you want to be in the next little while, and see if everything gels, if it fits. If it doesn't, well, there's your answer. But you can't change him.
Mm,
And don't compromise, because otherwise you're going to wake up in 5 years and think, who the hell am I and where did I go? How did I
mm.
get here? And then you'll have to back up and find yourself all over again. So don't do that. But just
Yeah.
keep in mind that it's not a competition, it's not a contest. You're either going to build something that's workable and long-standing together or not. Figure out if you can live with the things that are starting to annoy you about him first.
Awesome. So I got the Justice card followed by the Wheel of Fortune.
Cool.
I think that's very positive,
Mhm.
you know, or it could just mean that, justice will prevail and maybe it won't be a good relationship. I don't know. But the first thing I got, first feeling, gut instinct was like, oh, I think this feels good. Rena has a question. Hello, I would love to know how he sees me or his intentions, please.
Who is he?
So who's he,
Yeah.
Rena? I assume either her boyfriend or somebody that she's dating or wants to date. So Rena, when you hear this, can you put in who he is? You know,
Yes, Angie, ask him.
Rena, who is the he? His initials is BOC. So initials BOC. I want to date him. Okay, so you're not dating him. I would love to know how he sees me or his intentions. But this is obviously someone you know because you feel that he sees you in some way and may even have intentions towards you.
Okay.
Okay, let's pull cards, see what we see. Five of Wands.
Truth reversed.
So, truth is one of those cards that, is new to me.
Yeah,
So
it's one
what
of
does
the
that?
extended
So,
major.
what does truth reverse mean in this context, you think?
Okay, in this context, it means that there's a lot of stuff that you don't know yet.
Yeah.
Okay. And until you have all of the information, um, keep your options open. I mean, he might be just Mr. Perfect, who knows? But at this particular junction, trying to get a read on this, basically this is what this is telling me, is that you need to do a lot more work on yourself before you really start looking for someone else to fill in the gaps in your life, because you're holding something back too. So dig that out, make friends with it, give it a new
Mhm.
coat of paint or whatever you got to do, and you fix that little glitch, and things will be a whole lot clearer.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, real quick feedback from Angie. I was going to ask him in January.
Good job. Yes,
And
do that.
then people asking, like, we got a question from Anne, a question from Ellen, and then Anne, am I in queue? There is no queue except for the chat. So, folks, we don't have a list or anything like that. Just put your question in once. Do not spam the chat. Do not keep putting your question in. Put your question in once. I go back and I go through the list and I take the questions in the order that they came in. If you want to jump that, list, so to speak. I mean, what you do is you go to our coffee page, psychic.cafe/coffee. You buy us a cup of coffee, let us know in chat. And guess what? You're jumped to the top of the list. Now, today, we only have a few questions here and there. So, that's not really a thing. But if you just want to send us some love, grab us a cup of coffee over there. And the next question, I believe, was from Anne. Do you see that I will hear from my male friend within a month? We live long distance and the communication was an issue. Okay. And then Ellen's got a question about selling her house. So, Anne first here, whenever it's long distance, I just, I feel like when someone has a long distance relationship, and especially if they're having communication issues, and then they come to a tarot reader, okay, right there, they're trying to get some kind of validation that he's going to get it back in touch with you, or it's going to work out, or whatever, and that's almost never the case. Almost never the case. Okay, I need your help, Pamela, because I pulled the Soul Twins, another card. It's card 25, which I'm not familiar with. So, but it's got the dragon, so I love it already. What would the Soul Twins be in this context of this, long distance relationship? Followed by the way, Nine of Swords, which I think is just confirmation of, well, hello, this is how she's feeling about this situation, right? But what
Soul
about?
Twins is Soul Twins is about embracing your shadows.
Mm,
Okay.
mhm.
And that's what we were talking about with the truth card just a few minutes ago about um it's not the truth, it's your truth that matters. Okay.
Mm.
It's not the truth that you were handed when you were a toddler and they said, okay, you can't cross the street by yourself, you get hit by a truck. Hold my hand. Well, you outgrow that. You outgrow a lot of your truths, as it were. And right now you're holding on to one that no longer serves its purpose. It's like like an old pair of slippers that all of a sudden, oops, you're walking on the floor instead of the bottom of the slippers, throw them out, get a new one. Simple. Okay. And I'm pulling cards for the house question too. So keep going, Dax. I got one more stack to go.
No, I think we pretty much answered it there.
Okay. Okay.
Let's pull cards for Ellen's. Should I sell my house and move, or am I going to find work where I am in 2025? So it's kind of like two questions, but they're intertwined. So,
Don't sell your house. First card that came up, because
Mhm.
I do a kind of Dex does something similar for a yes/no spread.
Mhm.
Okay. But because this had a couple of questions in it, I decided to go with my version of it, which is shuffle, cut, get everything going, and then start flipping cards until you hit 13 or an ace. Now, the
Oh,
first ace that showed up, which is a hard no, and it's to do with Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles, don't sell your house. Not now. Okay. Later down the road might be a good time, but not now, because the next question, the next part of your question is, or am I going to find it? You got the Ace of Wands, girl. So, I mean, here you go. New opportunity, golden opportunities, new in energy, new this. I don't know where you live, but it looks like things in the area are going to turn around for whatever you're doing for work. Maybe tweak your resume a little bit and see if there are other venues that you could approach to. Like if maybe you worked for the city your whole life and all of a sudden, they're downsizing and your job is no longer even there. So, oh my gosh, so you don't go looking for a county job or a council job or something like that. Just expand your horizons a little bit. Really look around you and see what is. I mean, unless your house is falling into a pit of quicksand, keep it.
yeah.
Okay. But it looks like that would be a mistake to sell now, as it were. But because the job that I think that you would be very happy at is there, because if you moved, you the one thing you've got to watch about wherever you work is that nobody else takes credit for your hard work, because that's what's happened in the past. You come up with a brilliant idea, you got a new way of this or that, or you're gung-ho and you share it with your coworkers. Some other person, I won't go into colorful metaphors, takes credit and gets all so yeah, document everything, tweak your resume, let them know
Yeah.
what you have done and go from there. But don't give up. My goodness, you seem to be a little bit pitted in where you're at, and it looks like you're kind of comfortable. Why would you leave? Just the question. You do need work, but we all do.
We all do. We all do. And the thing is, I think that the hesitation tells the universe not to send
Time.
something in.
Yeah.
Like she's thinking of moving and all, and it's like, okay, you got to decide to just stay where you are. By the way, I did a 7 card yes no, got 3 yeses, sorry, 3 no's, 2 yeses. So it's very much leaning towards like how Pamela said, don't sell the house. And the very first card, 10 of cups, hearth and home. I mean, literally, you want to keep that home. There's somebody that can help you out on the job front, showing up as the King of Pentacles. And then I get the 7 of Cups. So you're going to have all these opportunities coming your way. The Empress and the Queen of Swords come up and tell me that you should get analytical about this and creative about finding the next job, or maybe you don't even do a next job. Maybe it's like the cards of the day, with the Ace of Wands. What was the cards again? Ace of Wands and my mind's blanking here.
Star.
The Star card, yes. So again, getting in contact with the optimism. All right. And because if you focus on the lack of the job, and the thinking about moving, you're just drawing more of that in. um Maybe you create something new, take your own skills and abilities and put them out there. So what else is going on in the chat? I did see Sohani come in, one of our regulars. Hi, Sohani. And let's see here. Ellen. Wow, thank you. Broadcaster, commercials. Love my house, yes. Content producer, on-air personality. Well, there you go, Ellen.
Oh, nuts.
there, there are a lot of possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, you should be doing your own thing. Um, and I know you're kind of doing that now, but I mean more so. Don't be looking for the next job. Don't be working for someone else and making their dream come true. Make your own. Sahani was asking, this is an interesting question here, Pam. What's going to be my Christmas gift from the universe? By the way, happy holidays, guys.
We still got to talk about magic. So we're going to do one or two more and then we're going to talk about
Yeah, let's
magic.
just do this one and then we're going to go into
Okay.
magic, folks.
Okay.
What's going to be the gift from the universe? Clarity. Okay. So I'm getting clarity with the King of Swords, right? And then I
Ooh,
am,
yay. Yay.
folks, the cosmic chicken. So
Yes.
Pamela, card 27. Tell me about the I am card.
Well, it's like I was explaining because it came up earlier in the Eternal Seeker. It's that's the Eternal Seeker is a variation on the Steel Wizard's Major Arcana. Okay, and so what this tells me is that you're functioning as a total being. I mean, you've taken down the barriers between the body, mind, spirit, and are functioning as a divine being having a human experience.
Mm-hmm.
So you really cannot get it wrong. Now, the message, and this was for say again, who is this for?
Sahani.
That's right. Okay, because I went with the steel, or I don't even know the name of my own decks. I went with the Eternal Seeker on this one, since you're asking what gift from the universe. You are gifted, my friend, with being able to have direct communication with all of the old gods. They're awake, they're paying attention.
Ooh.
And right now, the winter solstice is the perfect time of year, the perfect moment to reach
Mm-hmm.
out and say, I honor you. How can I be of service? How can I be in service? How can I use my gifts to better my world? Because you can't change the world around you, but you can change your little corner of it. That's where magic comes in. And when you've done that, you have the ripple effect. So once the old gods woke up, oh God, it's been 20 years ago, and started really working their way back into society. And right now, it's almost like the evil that we've been experiencing is being starved out by what we're bringing in. So be ready. And again, honor honor all that it took to get you here and now, whether you've judged it to be good, bad, or indifferent. Honor that, because it took every millisecond of every heartbeat to bring you to this moment. And now you're in a great position. I mean, between the I am and you know that you've got that, you know you've got this. And the other cards that have shown up for you, yes, it's a definite you've got this. Just be willing to step into your role, as it were. Oh, it also represents a shaman. Just FYI.
Awesome. Sorry, I was typing in the chat. Dan was answering some questions about the questions, and there is no list, and just put your questions in the chat. If we get back to questions, if we take any more questions, it will be in order from there. But I'm saying we may not get to your question today because we're going to talk about magic now. But if you want to make sure we get to your question, if you buy us a cup of coffee, guess what? That's the secret, folks. Yes. So I popped that in there, psychic.cafe/coffee. And if you want to be sure to get, I said, if you want to be sure to get your question answered and for us to go to yours right away, no waiting, grab us a cup of coffee. That's how you do it. Otherwise, real quick before we go to magic, tomorrow we're doing a coffee social. Now, we're not doing readings during this, but it's for members and my students. Go over to psychic.cafe/Zoom. It's 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And you get to ask any questions you want. And we get to hang out and chat about tarot and all things psychic, right? And then, but our next show will be Monday. Next actual show. Okay. So, and it'll be Charlotte and me Monday evening, 8 p.m. New York time. Just come join us there if we don't get to your question today. Alrighty. So you brought up you wanted to talk about magic. There was a story involved, though. What's going on, Pam?
Okay. A few weeks ago, it's been about 3 weeks ago now. I'm getting ready to go to the office, to my office. It's sort of an office studio, whatever. And I have got dozens of beautiful original pendants from my cousin Maya, who is dragon scale jewelry. And I realized that the one I was looking for wasn't hanging up for some strange reason, and it was a pendant that she made for herself years and years and years ago of the Egyptian goddess Bast. Okay.
By the way, love your pendant you have on
Thank
right now.
you. Thank you. Hubby bought that for me because he loves me. Um, go figure. But what she had done with this particular Bast pendant was she had put a double terminated quartz crystal behind it. And I turned every place I hide things inside out, and finally found it. I had to have it. I wasn't leaving the house without it. Put it on a piece of leather, wore it. And every time I took it off to shower or go to Aquafit or whatever I was doing, I had to have it with me. I couldn't leave it alone. And I wore it straight for 2 weeks, or had it within hand's reach. I bet it was with me. And one of my best friends, she and I we belly danced together for the last almost 20 years now. And she come in, and you take one look at the girl, and she always wears her heart on her sleeve. And I said, "Oh, honey, what happened?" Well, we've been friends so long that her girls are grown up and in their own professions. One's studying to be an RN now, and the other one is a school counselor. She's brilliant, and she's also one of my apprentices. She's been studying tarot for the better part of 8 years now, and started with the wizard's pets, and now she's graduated to the steel wizard. And about 5 weeks ago, she went, and she's always wanted a Bengal kitten. And I told her,
Mm.
don't get an F1 or 2, get an F3, because if you don't, they're going to be too crazy. You won't like it. So anyway, she finds this reputable breeder. She goes and she picks out this gorgeous kitten, takes it home, and within a week had taught it to fetch and sit and do all this other stuff. And then out of the blue, this poor little thing gets sick. So she takes it to the local vet hospital, and they, oh my gosh, and they run all these tests, and they say, we're sending you to a specialist. We don't want to tell you what we think it is. We just go. So she gets to the specialist in the next city, which is 3 hours away, and they run all these tests, and then they come back with, we're really sorry to tell you this, but we think your kitten has cancer. And we're going to run some more extensive tests. We're going to do this lab work, and we want to see you back here in 2 weeks, please. And we will have a plan ready to treat, but we can't guarantee anything. You've probably got 3 months. So
Mm.
she's devastated. Her
Yeah.
mom's devastated, which means I'm devastated, but I'm not going to allow that to happen because that changes everything. And as she's telling me this, I just reached up, took that pendant off, rolled the leather around it, put it in her hand and says, give this to Treya. And you tell Treya not to take this thing off until we get the news that we need, because they made a mistake. Your cat
Mm.
has some kind of a virus that is curable, and he'll be fine in no more than 2 months, 3 months tops. But you just know this. And she's worked with me over time, like, so she knows how what we call magic works. And that is, change your reality, change it and make it work for you. And so all of us were working, nope, kitten's fine. They made a mistake. It's going to live a long, happy, healthy life. Everything's grand, blah, blah, blah. I run into her on Tuesday. I run into the mom on Tuesday, and she walks up to me. She puts her arms around me and she said, we did it. They made a mistake. The kitten doesn't have cancer. It's a
Awesome.
virus. He's going to be fine. And everybody just went, yes. But that's how you do it. I mean, I've done this with people. I've done it with
Mm.
animals. I've done it with folks I've never met that have just tracked me down and said, how does this work? And it's really not that hard. What you start to do is you start to create a place for this to exist. And that's how magic works, because we live in a quantum universe, and there's no such thing as empty space. It is all filled with this quantum essence that they've now been able to identify. And Dax, when was it that they invented that machine that let them find the Higgs boson particle, or the
Oh,
God particle? That was
yeah.
like 15, 20 years ago, wasn't it? 15 at least.
It was, it feels like yesterday,
It
but
does.
it was, at least 15 years, I think.
Yes. Yes. But
Yeah.
once okay, and I mean, everybody that's been into shamanism or any kind of oracle work or has known this for years. And I mean, I could hear all of the Tibetan monks rolling their eyes, thinking these idiots finally figured it out. Because what they've discovered is that you can take and split like a molecule and put half of them on each side of the world, and what happens to one affects the other.
Hmm.
So there is no such thing as time and space.
Einstein called that spooky action at a distance.
Well, there's that. But I mean, the truth is we live in a space-time continuum, so everything doesn't happen at once. And we have the unique experience of being able to live these moment to moment to moment, because there's no past, there's no future, there's only now.
Hmm.
Okay. And that very boring, I know some people love the guy Eckhart Tolle, but he bores me to tears. If I can't sleep, I just plug in one of his CDs and I'm asleep in about 3 sentences. Um,
I
but
love Eckhart.
I know a lot of people do. I'm just not one of them. It's just that all of this information started coming out about um, how you identify where your roadblocks are. Where have you set yourself up for failure? Where have you shot yourself in the foot? Where are you programming, telling yourself moment to moment, day to day that, oh my God, oh my God. No, 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 no. Stop. Stop right there. Take a few deep breaths and back up, and then start creating your own magic. And you do this by employing all of your senses, like taste, touch, smell, all of them. Vision boards don't work. they just don't work because you're only employing one aspect of it. But if you can go 15 minutes before you go to sleep every night, live it. Live it like it's already accomplished. And I mean, that's what I did. I took that kitten's picture, I put it on my altar, and
Mhm.
I knew that that kitten was happy, healthy, and going to be living a long, successful, it'll be fine. Everything's great. I knew this. And I went
Mhm.
to sleep every night for 3 nights in a row, knowing that this was the case. And I woke up on the fourth morning and feeling all this watershed moment. Yeah, it's done. So I tracked her down and I said, Treya, what have you done? She said, same thing, Auntie Pam, like this is where I'm at with it, you know? And of course, her mom's called me mom for the last almost 20 years now. And then I asked her the next time I saw her the following Friday, how did you do? She said, I did the protocol and everything's fine. We just had to wait a
Yep.
few days for the universe to get in line and say yes, because it does work. You cannot
Yeah.
work.
Earlier, this came up when I was talking about the five sensory visualization. That is
Exactly.
magic. That's the protocol.
That
You
it.
know, everything that ever existed was in consciousness first.
Yes.
If you think about it, you know, uh,
Bodies, tables, houses,
yeah.
all of it begin as a thought.
But whole businesses, cars, this microphone was in
Civilization.
someone's head first before it ever was created, manufactured, what have you. Yeah, it may not be literally like the car the day I had the Ace of Wands, and you take the wand and boom, it's instantly there. The reason for that is, well, it's twofold. One is that we live in this quantum universe where there is the perception of linear time, whereas in the spirit realm, everything happens in the quantum field, everything happens instantaneously. Okay, so there's a delay from when we try to manifest to it actually being. Now, it's also
Sometimes.
on purpose, because imagine if whatever we put in our consciousness instantly popped out here in the reality, what we call reality. It would be a disaster. You got 8 billion people on this planet just thinking of things, and cars and cows and everything else just popping into existence around you, and it would be ridiculous. So there has to be a delay. you know so there's
Well,
a
and the
delay.
universe wants to make sure that that's exactly what you want because you will be tested every step of the way. Are you sure? Because if you're not sure, we ain't going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you are, it's cemented into your reality.
Mm-hmm.
When you created a place, well, it's like the build it and he will come kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have built a place for this to exist.
Mm-hmm.
And all you have to do is wait for that to fill. And the quantum essence that fills everything. I mean, there's no such thing as empty space in any multiverse. It's all filled with this quantum essence. And once that fills that place that you created, that's the manifestation.
Yeah.
It's like the magician. That's how the
Yeah.
magician does it.
And I know it doesn't seem like that because the car is designed and then manufactured and then goes out to be sold and all this kind of thing. It's not like instantly the Maserati in your driveway kind of thing, but it's still manifesting, because
Mhm.
people, when you want to manifest something, the universe is putting people and places and things in your pathway that will get you there. And we have something called the reticular activating system. It's a group of structures in the center of your brain that filters out all the, because our brain is always taking in trillions of bits of information a second, and it filters out and it's looking for anything that's going to help you manifest something that you're putting your attention on. And that's why the five sensory visualization is so important. Yep.
Well, and that's where the authenticity of feeling comes in. Because if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
feel good, then you've missed a step. back up and take another look at it. Look closely at what you're creating. Um, and I will tell you this right now, you can't create for someone else. You cannot do
Right.
that. You can help them, but
Hmm.
you can't do it for them. And like when it comes to pets and things like that, one of the first thoughts that went through my head was, this is one of Treya. This is the kid that I've known since she was 3. Um, this is one of her challenges, to see how are you going to deal with this kind of situation, because until you've experienced it fully for yourself, you can't walk anybody else through it. She's a school counselor. She needs to know how to do this. She needs to know how to avert or modify tragedy into
Hmm.
something more productive. We can all do this. It's not anything that's it's not a, well, if anybody's ever read the book The Secret or something like, it's just it's a nice little way to manifest your reality. It's that simple. And don't complicate it
Yep.
with facts. Don't try to make it difficult. It's just that
Right.
it's simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid.
I wanted to mention your page, which is psychic.cafe/Pamela, and mine is psychic.cafe/Dax, which I put in the chat. So if you guys want to book a session with us, so if we did not get to your question today, we apologize. We're already over top of the hour. It's 106 my time. You can wait till Monday and join Charlotte and I and ask a question then, or just book a session. My sessions are half price right now for the holidays, $49.99. You can find that on the holidays sale page. I'll pop that in the chat too. Psyche.cafe/holidays. You can scroll down and book a session with me on the holidays sale page. If you're just on the website, you're going to see the banner for half price holiday sale. Just click on any banner you see and it'll take you and just scroll down and you can book a session with me. But also, there is a link to book from my page, psychic.cafe/Dax, to get it for half price. And then you can message Pamela from her page, psychic.cafe/Pamela. Before we go, though, I flubbed here. I missed early on. I saw a question from Michelle, who is one of our hosts and a lifetime member. So she gets priority. Remember what we were talking about with members have priority on the shows. She asked a question. I did see the question, but then I was organizing other questions in my head and stuff like that from other people in the chat. And somehow we skipped over Michelle. So I want to do Michelle's question before we leave. It's about a project she had asked. And again, I have to scroll up here. Let me see if I can find it again. Or Michelle, type it back in again. Will I get this one project completed? So there's this one project that she's working on that she wants to know if she's going to get completed. And she just said something about this, actually. She said, this is what I need to pour into my project. I think she was talking about, this conversation we were just having right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's right, because the first card I pull for is the Magician reversed, which means you don't have all your ducks in a row, as it were.
Mm.
Because when the Magician is right side up in the way I read, then everything is flowing automatically, as above, so below. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
E = MC². It is matter and consciousness squared. Energy is matter and consciousness squared. Or that's what energy creates. So as you think, you create. So be very, very, very much aware of what your thoughts are and your inner dialogue, your self dialogue that you go through every moment of every single day. You're constantly, well, how are you going to get the answers you want if you don't talk to yourself? So, but that is how it works. And if you're telling yourself, I can't because, you need to lose those words. The words I
Mm-hmm.
can't because, you need to take them completely out of your vocabulary, because that is not the way to do it. Because the answer to your question, once you figure out where you're shooting yourself in the foot, is 1,000% yes. because you've also got the Empress, the manifestation of all earthly desires, everything coming together. I love this card. She represents to me the divine feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To me, the Empress is that is what she is. She is the ability to create beyond anything, any questions. Okay. So figure out what it is. Yeah, there he is. Figure out what it is that you're not quite. I think honestly, Michelle, what I'm picking up is it feels like imposter syndrome. You believe that you're not smart
Mm.
enough, good enough, worthy enough, whatever it is. And oh, sweetheart, if anybody is, it's you. Okay, so just run with it, go with it. Boom. There you go. The card of the psychic. Bingo.
I got the moon card,
Yeah.
just very similar to what you were talking about. Things are a little bit hidden in the Four of Cups. I feel like you're just not happy with the choices, but you're missing what's right there. And then the
Mhm.
King of Wands shows up, to show you need to follow your passion on this project. And look, he's got his wand, and there's the crystal on the wand. It's actually a staff, but it's a magical staff because it's got the crystal up there. Yeah, you need to use your magic. And that's actually what she said in the chat. Feel like the magic talk I got told by the universe to put my magic into it.
Yes.
Right. And she says, right, I need to talk positive to myself. Got it. Yeah, it's imposter syndrome.
We
That
all deal with it at some point or another. We just do.
we all do.
Somebody will drop something in your lap and you look at it and you say, I can't do that. That's too big
Yeah.
for me. And then what did you just say? Stop that. Back it up. Of course I can do this. If it wasn't whatever the gods put in my path, if they don't think I can do it, they wouldn't have put it there. So go with it. Go for
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
If
And
you,
she says, thank you guys so much. Exactly what I needed to hear. Exactly. There was,
we love you, Michelle,
there
a
was
lot.
um there was a reason you asked that
Mhm.
right today, and with Miss Pamela on here. Um, yeah, I mean, we all go through the imposter syndrome. Maria in the chat said something about, Dax, you are such an amazing reader. And to this day, like decades later, you know, and I've got my certificate, certified tarot master, and everything like that. And still I read something like that and I feel a tinge like, ooh, wait, no, not me. No, I'm
Oh,
barely passable. I'm barely
but it keeps us
passable as a reader.
humble. It does. It keeps us humble. I mean, because I know readers out there that I really have issues dealing with them because, well, I said so. No, you
Yeah.
didn't say so. The universe told you to say so.
And now
You
Pamela is certified tarot grandmaster Pamela Steele. So,
with the seeing eye cobra. Yeah.
your your head is getting larger as we talk.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, it is. I can see it.
Grand Grandmaster Pamela Steele. Yes. No, I feel a lot of us, especially on the staff of the guild, that have been doing this for 30 plus years, it's like, yeah, I think we're all pretty much grandmasters at this point. Anyway, so we got to get out of here. We are way over.
Blessed solstice.
Yes. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We had a great time. Pamela, we got to figure out a way to get you here more often. I think 2 months went by before we got you back today.
Oh, I don't know. I popped in on Maria's show and
Oh,
then somebody else because
I know
I
you
just,
were here for the coffee social.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which by the way, tomorrow, coffee social, if you're one of our members, oh, let me put that in chat for everybody, by the way. For information on the coffee social and what it's all about, go to psychic.cafe/Zoom. Psychic.cafe/Zoom. We hold them twice a month live on Zoom. You can ask anything you want. It's mentoring, coaching from, grandmasters like Pamela and myself and Michelle and Dan and Charlotte, uh, Ellen, Ellen. Ellie shows. I was thinking Ellen in the chat. Ellie shows up sometimes. Last time, certified tarot actually, we need to make her a grandmaster. Tarot master Corby Metlide was there. Um,
Yeah.
she
Hermes
needs to
also.
be a grandmaster. Anyway, uh whole bunches of people show up and answer all your questions about tarot, numerology, card reading, other
Runes. By
topics.
the way, the rune on the top of the King of Wands staff is the
I saw
rune
that.
for opening. In other
Opening.
words, opening, showing you a way forward.
Oh, there you go, Michelle. That was for you. Yeah. So we do that twice a month. Almost no one does that. I mean, who out there, twice a month, you can, sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's 2 or 3 hours. We hang out, we have coffee and tea. If nothing else, we chit chat, talk about our, favorite decks, things like that, favorite books, favorite authors, what have you. Different reading methods, things like that, but other times, people ask really great questions about tarot and
Mhm.
numerology and all the topics. Also, you can ask about getting certified, right? Because it's half price right now. Getting certified, how the Tarot Guild works, how the Psychic Cafe works, setting up your business on Psychic Cafe. You don't need a website if you don't already have one, just so you guys know. You get your own website on Psychic Cafe with your own blog and events, and you can create your own group. And oh my God, come to the event, come to the coffee social. We'll talk about all of that. We'll explain it all. I can share my desktop, which I can't do on these shows, you know, um, because of the time constraints, but we're not constrained on those coffee socials. They're also private. We don't record them. You can ask anything you want and not be worried about people watching, hearing you. There's no such thing as a dumb question, but you may feel that way and you don't want other people to hear you ask. You don't have to worry about it. It's very intimate. There's usually only a few of us there. It's very intimate and private, and we don't record it. And you can ask all kinds of questions about growing your business, starting your business, reading for others, other things like hypnosis and EFT and NLP and crystals and runes and all these things that we do. Yes, come join us tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Noon
Again,
our time.
yes, it's noon our time, you and I. And I'll put this up here again. It is psychic.cafe/Zoom. It explains the whole thing, and we'd love to have you join us. Go check it out. Alrighty, we need to get out of here. I need to draw that one on my wrist. Okay, so Michelle, I guess, wants to do a tattoo of that, or at least draw it temporarily, that rune on her wrist. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being here, Pam. It's been a lot
You-
of fun.
Hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yep. See you all tomorrow. Bye, everyone. And we are out of there. Yay.
Yay, teamwork.
Teamwork. That was a lot of
X.
fun. It always goes so smooth when you're on here.
Oh, I enjoy it tremendously. It's just finding time to sit down.
Oh, I know. And then, it's the schedule because we were doing it on Sundays, but then the angelic view came back on the
Yes.
first and the third. We were doing it like on the second